The whispering shadows of the abandoned Indian village. In the heart of a forgotten forest, there lies a village that time has abandoned. Locals speak of its cursed streets, where shadows move and whispers of the past never die. The villagers are gone, but their spirits remain, trapped in a nightmare of their own making. No one dares enter, for those who do are never the same. Rahul, a skeptic, laughs at the legend until he steps into the village and unknowingly becomes a part of its chilling curse. A forgotten village and a sinister legend. In the remote corners of India, where thick forests stretch endlessly and ancient temples lay in ruin, there's a village that doesn't appear on any modern map. People say the place is cursed, haunted by spirits, and no one who ventures there returns the same. But curiosity, as they say, kills the cat. A young man, Rahul's thirst for adventure leads him to the heart of this desolate village. The journey begins. Young man Rahul's dare to explore. Rahul had always been a skeptic. He didn't believe in ghosts, spirits, or any of those superstitions people spoke about in hushed tones. When he first heard about the haunted village during a road trip with friends, he laughed it off. But when the village's name kept cropping up, it piqued his curiosity. It was called Bhul Bhulaiya, meaning the maze of forgotten paths, a name that sent shivers down the spine of those who dared mention it. Rahul decided to explore it alone. He set off on his motorcycle, leaving behind the bustling city life for a road that led to the unknown. The road was winding, the air dense with mist, and the sun began to set as he entered the dense forest surrounding the village. The eerie silence of the forest began to settle in, and Rahul couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something was watching him. The village, unsettling silence and unusual happenings. When Rahul first arrived, the village seemed abandoned. The houses, though intact, had a decayed, forgotten feel. No sounds of people, no animals, just a quiet that felt unnatural. The only movement was the rustling of dry leaves in the wind. Despite the eerie atmosphere, Rahul was determined to uncover the truth. He began walking through the village, his footsteps echoing off the cracked cobblestones. As he passed one of the old houses, he felt a sudden chill. The air around him grew colder, and a strange whispering sound reached his ears. It was faint at first, like distant murmurs. Rahul stopped dead in his tracks. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice slightly weary. No reply, just the whispers growing louder as though dozens of voices were speaking at once. Rahul's heart raced, but a skepticism pushed him forward. "It's just the wind," he muttered, trying to convince himself. The curse unfolds, a terrifying encounter. After exploring the village for what seemed like hours, Rahul decided to visit the old temple at the edge of the village. Legend had it that the temple was once a place of great power until a dark ritual was performed there. Since then, no one dared to approach the temple, and the village was said to be cursed. As Rahul entered the temple courtyard, the air grew thick and the whispers turned into guttural voices. He felt his body freeze, his mind overwhelmed by a sense of dread. It was as though the temple itself was alive, watching, waiting. He walked towards the temple's dark doorway, and as he stepped inside, the temperature dropped drastically. In the corner, he saw an old, tattered cloth. As he approached it, something caught his eye. A pair of glowing eyes stared back at him from the darkness, a figure translucent and floating, slowly emerging from the shadows. Rahul gasped, stepping back in terror. The figure's face was distorted, as if it had been twisted in pain. The whispers grew louder, now clearly voices of people in pain. "Get out, now," the ghostly figure whispered, its voice dripping with malice. The escape, a nightmarish struggle. Rahul's instinct kicked in. He turned and ran, but the village seemed to have changed. The paths were no longer the same, and he found himself trapped in a maze of houses, each one more oppressive than the last. The whispers turned into screams, and the ground beneath him seemed to shift and ripple. The ghostly figure was now chasing him, its distorted face grinning. The night was endless, and the darkness seemed to close in around him. Desperation set in as Rahul struggled to find his way out. Finally, in a burst of adrenaline, he spotted the edge of the forest. Without a second thought, he sprinted towards it, the ghost's cries echoing behind him. As he broke through the trees, he stumbled onto the road. The air was lighter, and the village was no longer visible. He had escaped. The shocking twist, a deadly revelation. Rahul returned to the nearest town, shaken but alive. He told the locals about the haunted village, but they listened in silence. An elderly woman finally spoke. That village, it was never haunted. The curse is much worse, she said, cryptically. The villagers were never meant to leave. They are the spirits who haunt that place, waiting for someone to take their place. Rahul's heart skipped a beat. He remembered the whispers, the coldness, and the figure chasing him. The ghostly figure wasn't just a spirit, it was him. Rahul had unknowingly become a part of the curse. He was the new soul that the spirits had claimed. A horrific fate sealed. Rahul never returned to the village, but he knew one thing for certain. The curse of the Bhulbhulaiya wasn't just about spirits. It was about the souls of the lost, forever trapped in a cycle, luring others to take their place. Rahul may have escaped narrowly, but the haunted village never left him. He had become the new spirit, the one waiting for the next victim to come.